The Nairobi National Museum is the largest and oldest of all the museums in Kenya. It was founded in 1910 and has grown into an institution of international repute.
The National Museums of Kenya, as a public institution, has a legal mandate empowered through the Act, the National Museums and Heritage Act of 2006, to be the custodian of all the heritage, national heritage of this country. The national heritage encompasses both the natural and the cultural aspects of our heritage. And it involves the identification, the documentation, the promotion, and the conservation of all what is considered as national heritage.
In 1997, the government of Kenya embarked on a comprehensive reform of improvement of the human resource management and infrastructural development, which involved a major rehabilitation of the Nairobi Museum. The National Museums of Kenya's strategic partner in this development was the European Commission. The Commission funded the project to the tune of 8 million euros. This project became known as the National Museums of Kenya Support Program.
Our first reason was to ensure that we come up with refurbished galleries as well as newly built galleries. But the second and most important reason was to be able to replace completely the exhibitions inside the galleries of Nairobi Museum, so that we can be able to give Kenyans more exciting, more interactive, and more modern ways of presenting our exhibitions to the public.
In October 2005, the Nairobi Museum closed its doors to the public to pave way for the infrastructural renovations. To launch the infrastructure work, His Excellency the President Mwai Kibaki officiated the groundbreaking ceremony on the 1st of March 2006. This officially kicked off the process dubbed Museum in Change. The existing museum building had to be cleared of all its contents before the contractors could move in. Dismantling the exhibitions was not an easy task, as some of the installations contained delicate and precious artifacts and specimens that required careful handling. Soon after, the museum compound became a beehive of activity as contractors brought in and put their equipment to work, and the construction work began in earnest. The completion deadline for the museum building was tight, and that sometimes meant that the work continued late into the night. Meanwhile, museum staff members were organized into exhibition development teams. The teams, comprising researchers, exhibition designers, and public programs experts, worked long hours to ensure that the new themes were turned into exhibits for the refurbished and expanded Nairobi National Museum. The new Nairobi Museum will open with 4 permanent exhibition galleries completed. These are the Cradle of Mankind, Cycle of Life, the Great Hall of Mammals, and the Hall of Kenya. The expansion and refurbishment of the museum infrastructure constituted one part of the NMK support program. Another part was the organizational restructuring. The management of the National Museums of Kenya was strengthened through the creation of 2 new directorates. These are the Directorate of Development and Corporate Affairs at the headquarters and the Research Institute for Swahili Studies in East Africa, based in Mombasa. In addition, as part of the organizational restructuring, The management of the National Museums of Kenya resources was decentralized through the creation of 3 regions, each headed by an assistant director of museums, sites and monuments. The organizational restructuring is ongoing, with staff recruitment and capacity building for the existing museum professionals. Also included in the infrastructure works was the construction of a brand new administration block to serve the National Museums of Kenya headquarters. The new administration block, christened Heritage Center, was officially opened on the 26th of September 2007 by the then Vice President and Minister for Home Affairs, Honorable Moody Awori. The Heritage Center houses the Director General's Office, the Directorate of Development and Corporate Affairs, Legal Department, Finance and Administration, and a new fully fledged ultra-modern resource center. The resource center boasts of over 20,000 books, 1,700 periodicals, and 4,000 photographs. It also has microfilms, audio CDs, and tapes. Users will enjoy internet access from the resource center. The new museum, now known as the Nairobi National Museum, is a modern facility that boasts of an expanded gallery space and new visitor amenities, including a visitor center and new restaurants. Visitors to the museum galleries will be treated to new exhibitions in an expanded environment whose design bears careful considerations for access and enjoyment by all museum visitors. One of the galleries that the visitors will enjoy is the Cradle of Mankind. The gallery tells the human story from select attractions of our world-famous fossil collections. The National Museums of Kenya holds a fossil collection of over 350,000 specimens. Out of these, about 700 fossils tell the story of human evolution. This is the largest single collection relating to human evolution in the world. The Cradle of Mankind Gallery will for the first time put on public display the original human origin fossils. The Cycles of Life Gallery tells the story of human existence from birth to death and into ancestry.
Nafonda similani. Alongwa nyani.
The Great Hall of Mammals Gallery exhibits the evolution of mammals, their diversity and adaptations to environmental changes. The museum outdoors have been beautifully landscaped and feature several outdoor exhibitions which include sculptures and other pieces of art based on nature, culture, and history. Also included in the landscape is an open-air amphitheater, a perfect venue for outdoor performances and presentations. A new herbal garden exhibit showcases a variety of indigenous medicinal plants. A luggage deposit room for safekeeping of personal effects for visitors has been provided. The new museum has a restaurant and a coffee shop.
Museums is one place where the international community and the local community is going to come to see the best of Kenyan heritage, artifacts, pieces of historical interest. To the same crowd, we are saying that here is a truly Kenyan ambience ambience perhaps you never experienced anywhere else in the world, with a fare which is truly international. So here they finish looking at the museum, and while they're full of awe about what they see in the museum, the awe experience continues inside the coffee lounge, where they see an ambience they've never seen before, and they enjoy coffees and food, which are of the best international quality.
Safety comes first in the new gallery space. Clearly marked exit routes have been designated, and the museum has first aid facilities. The development of the new museum continues, but as it is open to the public, visitors will appreciate a new, bigger, and better Nairobi National Museum.